Episode 1144. 1144. Cafe Anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in PodCastro-Valley, Mont. Today, we hear from Madame Rootabega, Valentino, Bison Bentley PLUS. It's the return of the much-loved segment called Into an Interview, where today we are going to be talking to the very talented ERIN SUTH, who is going to be in a play, Mike's Daily Podcast, in a musical in the town of which I reside in PodCastro-Valley. Mike's Daily Podcast. And in PodCastro-Valley, they have just completely drained a lake, Cold Canyon Lake, and make no mistake, it's gone. No more water. The ducks are like, hey, what the hell happened here? And there's going to be something built there. I'm not sure what exactly. There's going to be like kind of a waterway. Mike's Daily Podcast. Because there is a stream that runs through there. A river runs through it. Hey, a Robert Redford movie. Mike's with Brad Pitt. Daily. And Tom Skerritt. Podcast. That I never watched. Yeah! But I heard it was pretty good. There's like fly fishing in it. So it can't be all bad. But there's a podcast picture of that right now. Oh, let's get to the podcast picture.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Basil the boxer and I were walking around the lake yesterday. This photo is from yesterday, and you can see in the left-hand corner there that the lake is gone. It's just a dried pit. Oh, and by the way, right where Basil is, those two trees, they just chopped those down. This is all part of the East Bay Regional Park District, which I was speaking about at length on the last show. Wonderful. It's one of the biggest park districts in the country. So many great places to take the dog. You can have the dog off leash. Don't go to Oyster Bay Regional Park, though. Oyster Bay is where you'll get a ticket like I did and have to spend $300 because your dog was off leash, even though there's signs everywhere that say the dogs are on leash. And then I had to go to Fremont to complain. Oh, hey, I found out a new name for Fremont. Freakmont. I found out about... Who would have told me that? Maybe someone I spoke to on today's show. We'll find out. And then also at the end of our interview, Into an Interview, I talk about Trump and about bashing Trump. And I'm not going to do it today. I'm kind of... oh, look who just walked in. Hello, my goodness, it's Madame Rootabega, and I dated Trump. You did? How was that? He's very nice. He picks up the check. He picks up the check. Wonderful. Yes, Michael Matthew, we didn't go touch. Wonderful. Yeah, he has said some interesting things lately. He always says interesting things. He was in Daytona Beach yesterday, where my mom lives, and my mom's a huge Donald Trump fan and has Donald Trump signs on her front yard. I have not spoken to her yet to see if she actually went to she never goes to political rallies or anything, but I'm sure she went to this because she just loves Donald Trump. It's so funny. But yeah, I love the clip. They're talking about the 5-star soldiers, the decorated soldiers, and he's like, and all the controversy he's gotten into over that, and he brought some of the families of those soldiers to his rally yesterday, and he's like, look, they're over there, look at them, aren't they great? Okay, back to talking about me. And it's all, there are people complaining, oh, people are bashing Trump or whatever. Why not? He loves it. He's in the public eye. He is a attention whore. He loves it. He gives him more power if you give him more attention. So maybe that's not a good thing, giving someone like that limitless power. But you know what? It's an interesting time of year, isn't it? With all this back and forth. This week particularly. Next week will probably even be more so. But all the way till November 8th. It's the 8th this year, not the 2nd. Usually it falls around, the 1st November. No, wait. Yeah, it's November 8th, because Why isn't it November 1st? I guess there's some rule that says it has to be after the 2nd. Whatever. Let's get to the Into It interview with ERIN SUTH. And you can find out more and hear past interviews I've done with other people and see past podcast pictures and help out the show at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. And by the way, if you're going to ever shop on Amazon, click on that Amazon link there that you find at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. And when you're shopping, that kind of helps us out too. We get like a commission. Tiny, minuscule, but we get something. There's also the PayPal if you'd like to donate to the show and get a special greeting from all the Cafe Anyway characters. Oh, 2 of which walked in. That's why that door opened a little while ago. And how are you guys doing?
Oh, dear Mike, it's Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we just wanted to walk in here and say the political season is full of tumultuousness and hilarity.
Yeah, we love it. Do you know that, Chris Christie? They're big Chris Christie fans. Okay, into an interview.
Into an interview.
Fancy.
So I'm speaking with ERIN SUTH, and you are the director?
No. I play Mrs. Potts in the production, Three Crosses Church for Beauty and the Beast this summer. The director's name is Faith Blevins. She is off the charts amazing and has a heart of gold. She's incredible.
And you are Mrs. Potts?
Yes, Mrs. Potts.
That's the one in the movie that, was it Angela Lansbury played?
That's correct. Yeah, Angela Lansbury plays that role in the film. And I get to kind of use my little British accent and really kind of try to age myself up a bit and play an older woman. It's a lot of fun.
What's a British accent that you do? Like, where did you learn a British accent?
In college, I was a theater major, and so we were required to take what's called like voice for actors, and they have like lots of different dialects. So they teach you like Cockney British, which is like really like chunky, like I don't know, like evening governor, care for an hors d'oeuvre, you know, it's like really Cockney. And then they teach you like a Cambridge or like the Queen's English dialect, which is what I use for Mrs. Potts.
Oh, is that like that's more proper?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Exactly. Yeah, more proper, more prim. Mm-hmm.
Did you have to watch a lot of BBC to get ready for it?
No, but I do love Sherlock. If you're a BBC person, like Sherlock is my lifeblood. It's so good.
New episode coming up.
I cannot.
I don't know when though.
I cannot wait. The days are counting down. Isn't it? It's not like till around Thanksgiving, I think, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I saw that picture of Benedict with the dog. They were showing that online.
I love him. He's magnificent.
And then the guy who co-writes that, none of the names. I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. Mark Gaddis. He plays Mike, is it Mycroft, the brother? And he says some funny things like, what is it? Something brother mine. He says it's really droll, I guess.
Yes, yeah, kind of that like weird, it's like very cheeky because it kind of like harkens back to like older English slangs, but I love the way he uses it. Like he says things like Fortnite, like who says Fortnite anymore?
Yeah, that's too bad. We can say Fortnite. Well, so why are they doing Beauty and the Beast?
So the church has been, if you've ever seen the building in and of itself, the church is built for production stage. The stage is a really large space, and for years and years, they've been putting on very vast, really epic theater productions up here at the church. And the sole purpose of it, truly and honestly, is really so that those in the community can hear more and kind of learn more about God. And it's a wonderful opportunity, I think, for a lot of people in our community who are gifted in the arts to have a chance to like use those gifts in a setting that isn't necessarily, kind of where you're having to do all these like really tough auditions and beat out competitions at a like regional level. But the thing that's beautiful about it is they're such gifted people, and the productions are really stellar. And so this summer they chose Beauty and the Beast, I think first and foremost because it has such. I think it's because it has a story of like transformation, and I think it showcases the ability to see people for who they truly are and see people kind of for who they are inside, and who they can showcase themselves to be on the outside isn't always who they claim to be. And so I don't know, I think in our world, especially right now where we could use some love and for seeing people kind of for who they really are as people, I think this is a perfect story to tell.
ERIN SUTH. Well put.
Oh, thank you.
That was well said, that one. Yes.
Oh, thanks, Governor. Yeah.
So you're singing the big song.
I am. I get the privilege. Faith is so gracious, our director. She gave me the opportunity to play Mrs. Potts and get to sing the title song, which is super exciting. And the music director, his name is Kevin Ledbetter. He has this amazing orchestra. And so, I mean, I could sound like trash, and I'm sure it would still sound gorgeous with the crew they've got put together. But it's a huge privilege. I'm very honored to play this part.
Now, there's an orchestra?
You are correct, sir. There is a full orchestra. They have the, like I said, the theater here at the church is so, it's so equipped. We have like an actual lift. They like go down into a pit, like the whole works.
Ooh.
And the crew that does the set design, the scenic director's name is Pat Brandon, and he's got a couple of the scenic painters, all like CastroValley locals, Jen Grafton, Ariel Brandon, his daughter, his son helps out as well, Sam Brandon. Keith Kaufman is like doing all the pulling on all the ropes and getting all the like set pieces down, and just in general, I would have to say, if I gave a number offhand to how many people's hands have touched this production, including costumes, including actors and scenic and musicians and lighting. I mean, we've got upwards of 200, 210, 20 people working on the show.
Wow.
It's huge.
Gee whiz. It's a big culture. Castro Valley is a big theater town now.
Yeah, I think that is something so wonderful, is we have so many people who come up here to the church. I mean, because Cafe 4 is up here, which is a really cool local cafe for people to visit, it's always kind of brought the community in, and to now have it also be the church to kind of showcase arts in general is great.
I love Cafe 4.
Yes.
Now they get their coffee from Verve Coffee, which if you go to Verve Coffee in Santa Monica,
Santa Cruz?
I'm sorry, I'm from Southern California originally. Santa Cruz. I always want to call Santa Cruz Santa Monica. Isn't that strange? Okay. This place, Cafe 4, where we are at right now, by the way, is way better than their little cafe down there. It's just, even though we're getting their coffee, it's sort of unfair. We've got this huge patio out here and a view of the bay. Well, not today because it's a bit hazy, but yeah, down there in Santa Cruz, Monica, it's okay. It's not awful, but it's way tinier than this. This is huge, expansive.
Yeah, I think that's truly a testament to the crew that runs that. And I'm a little biased because my best friend is one of the managers there, who is also in the show.
Oh.
Her name is Lindsay. She plays Babette, the little French feather duster. Talking about dialects, she has to use a French dialect. She's worked really hard on it. And the boy who plays Lumiere, he's a man. His name's Jordan. And but Lindsay works in the cafe with her team and the manager named Kathleen, and they like keep it as a well-oiled machine over here.
Now you're in a band with her, aren't you?
I am, yes. Lindsay Cavallero and I have a band called Tammy and the Silver Spoons, and we are a ukulele army of two, and we've had the opportunity over time to play a lot of different venues, everything from corporate parties to weddings to ministry events, and doing things here at the church, youth ministry, which we're super passionate about when we get to work with students, and it's a lot of fun. We have a hoot and hollering time. Tammy and the Silver Spoons. Look us up on YouTube if you're interested. There you go.
Yeah, you do some mashups too. I remember I forget this was several years ago, but you mashed something up, and I was like, that was brilliant. But how do you come up with your mashups? It's usually twofold. The first time we ever wrote a mashup, and she and I love to brag about this, because the first time we did it took us like a really long time, like a couple hours, to really sit down and try and kind of piece all these pieces together to figure out where chords could like intercross and interchange. And after a while, you really kind of get good at recognizing these two things fit together well. Our favorite mashup we've ever done was California Dreamin' by the Mamas and the Papas, and then we did, I think is it called California by Tupac Shakur. I forget. Oh yeah.
You know, the California in the city of LA. So we mashed up those two songs together. It was super cool to kind of bring the old and the new. And
I'm sorry, I have to be honest with you. I don't really know too much Tupac. The only one I know is, didn't he take That's Just the Way It Is by Bruce Hornsby, and did something with that.
He did. We picked that one purely because, and that was a mashup. We were like, okay, great, California. We also wanted an opportunity to showcase that we can like be sweet rappers. So we actually kept the like rap section in the mashup. So that was a lot of fun. And hearing, two like suburban chicks like try and master Biggie and Tupac. I mean, it's not perfect, but it works.
Good job. That's great. I think, yes, that's something, listener, you should go see. There's a guy named Listener that listens to the show. So
only one.
Only one guy. So
his name is Listener. Listener Jones.
And he's a big Tupac fan. Tupac. See, I can't say his name.
Is it Tupac or Tupac? I have no idea.
I don't know.
Tupac a day.
Wait, we're right by Oakland. Hey, Oakland! What is it? Oh my gosh, there's
Look
Mark
at this.
and
The people walking up behind you are
how's it going?
really cool owners and operators of Cafe 4 right
We
here.
were just giving Cafe 4 love on my podcast.
Oh, sweet.
I was saying, I've been to Verve Coffee, and your place is huge compared to them. But you're serving their coffee, right?
Serving their coffee. We're their largest non-Verve coffee shop distributor of Verve coffee.
Oh,
Outside of Whole Foods.
Okay.
In a coffee shop.
Oh, but who wants Whole Foods when you can have Cafe 4, right?
I know.
I mean, come on.
Whole Foods. It's like whole paycheck. Am I right? Am I? Kinda?
No? A little bit. Just a little bit.
Accurate. All right.
Well, thanks for the celebrity visit. For
Good to see you too.
special guest spot.
Yeah, I think Mark and Kathleen are coming. We have a very, we have a closed performance space for the show, but we have a small audience of people who are coming in to watch tonight that have been invited only because sometimes when you're doing a show to an empty house, it's hard to know when like the laughs are and where all of the kind of little moments and beats are. So we're really privileged actually this time around to have kind of a small group come in and watch us so we can kind of get our timing set before Friday.
Oh, that's good. Like a practice.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
I have questions here.
Oh, okay. So professional.
What other plays and musicals and stuff have you done?
Me personally, or ones here at the church?
You personally.
A lot. Quite a few. Ones that I think I'm most proud of are ones that I've had the opportunity to play a character who really was far from myself, who I kind of got a chance to be somebody who is not like someone else I've ever been. In college, I got to do a production of a play called Fuddy Mirrors by David Lindsay Abaire. If you're a play fan, read it. It's amazing. It's like weird and kooky and eccentric. But I got to play a 75-year-old stroke victim. And so like all of her speech is written like gibberish that sounds like real words. It was just really challenging. I think anytime you get the opportunity to stretch yourself as a person and more so even as an artist is a lot of fun. Here at the church, I've done a lot of work here since I was a kid. I started doing, actually, Faith Blevins, the director of the show here, is one of the chief kind of inspires for me when I got into theater. I came here to the church when I was 12 and was in a production with her. That was the first time I'd ever really been in a play. And I fell in love with it. And so the more chances I've been given, and every chance I think you're given to be an actor in whatever role, whatever capacity, is really a gift to kind of get to step outside of yourself and be someone else for a while. It really stretches you as a person. Yeah.
That is awesome. And it all happened right here.
That's right. Right here, actually. We're like about 50 feet from the little chapel. I was in a production of The Littlest Angel when I played the guardian angel when I was, I think, like 10 or 12. I can't remember. But I just, I fell in love with it. I've always loved to sing. We grew up with music in our house. And so, I mean, everything from like, Motown and Marvin Gaye to like Devo to Neil Diamond. My mom like loves Neil Diamond, Jewish Elvis. She's like in love with him.
Now, what do you get when you cross Neil Diamond with Devo? Do you get Neil Devo?
Yeah, Neil Devoed. Whip it. Just whip it. Whip it good, real good.
Wow, so you're singing both. That's That's amazing. Wow, there's so many people here. Why is it so busy today?
Because actually, I don't know if it's Wednesday or Tuesday. I think it's really just because the cafe is such a place of community in which, I mean, I have met people in this space at the cafe and in the church and even in the cast, people that I never would have had an opportunity to have interactions with. And I think that's what's so beautiful about this church and this place is I think it really brings people together. It brings people to a sense of community that you feel like you can just talk to anybody. There's no kind of hang up. And so the cafe, I think, is popular for that very reason.
And it is interesting because in Castro Valley, or what I like to call it, PodCastro-Valley, we're sort of elevated a little bit above the town. So it's sort of like we're part of the community, but we're above it. We're so hoity-toity.
Oh, I know. Yeah, the church. I mean, it's funny. The church is set kind of like up on a hill, and it is interesting. I think the cool thing about that is it really does it is a central point in the city, and it's nice that people kind of come. The thing that's so great is if you've ever driven past the church, there's like a massive 3 crosses out in the front, which is the name of the church, 3 crosses, and it's one of those things. I think it's always kind of been a beacon. You can't really miss it, and so I think as the cafe started to open, and as we continue to do our California Arts Academy, which is education in the arts for students and children and adults even too, and the shows here, there just continues to grow a chance for people to come up the hill and see what we're about. And I think people are finding that they come up here and they don't leave often because they love it.
Well, I guess full disclosure time, you live with Katie, who's done several segments of Holding Court with Lady Katie on this podcast. So there's a connection there.
Yes, Katie, the gorgeous, intelligent, gracious, generous Katie. I mean, I could go on for hours. We could do 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 podcasts on Katie. She's awesome.
She's like just adjectives?
Just simply adjectives about how amazing she is. Yes, she is incredible. And we live together, and it's a dream. Both of us actually were in a point in our lives where we said we were both like, if we're ever going to move out, like I'm going to move out on my own. And both of us thought, like, I never want to live with a roommate. We said the words at a friend's house. We both looked across the table and we're like, yeah, I don't think I'd live with anybody. And then we both literally met eyes and we're like, maybe except for you. And then as fate would have it.
That's insane. That like never happens.
It never happens. We, neither of us really saw ourselves living with another person. And I know that you're not supposed, I don't want to like jinx it, so knock on wood, but
is that wood? Yeah, that's wood.
This is wood.
Wait. I'm not sure.
Is that plastic composite? knock on fake wood. Yeah, it's such a dream to live with Katie. She is so kind and so loving, and we happen to both be like super neat as individuals, and so
important.
Our house is like so gorgeous. I came home from vacation and it like looked even better than when I left. I was super excited.
What? Now that's a good roommate right there. Wow.
Best. Sometimes I come in. Oh, even recently, I came in and there was laundry of mine folded on my bed and a little jar of fresh roses from our own backyard. And she's just like super thoughtful. She's amazing. Amazing.
Wow. Well, you got a play tonight. And No.
Rehearsal tonight.
It's not a dress rehearsal?
There's a dress rehearsal. Yeah, dress rehearsal tonight. We open on Friday.
And it goes till what day?
So there is...
When does it end? I don't know. When does it start? How can people see it that are listening? The listener, named listener, how can he go see this?
So if you want, I'll give the show information, but just in case you want extra info or looking at pictures or anything about the program or California Arts for our students, 3crosses.org has everything on there in the Arts tab. We have a show Friday night at 7:30 p.m. There's one the next day, Saturday, the 6th at 2:30 is a matinee. And then the following weekend, there's a Thursday night show at 7:30, a Friday night show at 7:30. Saturday, I think at 2:30. I believe there's another matinee on Saturday.
Saturday matinee.
And then the Sunday also, which is, I think, is that the 13th?
Sure, okay.
Yes, the Sunday, or 14th? You'll have to look that up. Anyway, the next week from this coming Sunday is a 6 p.m. show, a different time. And I believe if you come on the Saturday show for next weekend at 2:30, it is if you happen to know anyone or have anyone in your family who is deaf, there is a sign language and ASL for that performance.
Ah, awesome. ERIN Suth, thank you. I enjoyed this interview. We could talk some more sometime, and you can tell me more about your amazing life and all the things you do. That'd be awesome. And to anybody listening to this podcast for the first time that go to this church, I held off on all my Trump bashing today. So on today's show, you're welcome. Listen to other shows to hear me bash Trump. I didn't do that today, though. So
good.
You know, when I don't, though, I feel like it's coming out some other place. Like maybe I'm gonna get a rash.
No. You know what? That I have learned something recently, and it's this: is anytime I bash anyone, I feel worse.
That's true. It's negativity you're bringing.
Don't you feel worse?
How come I can never say that word?
Negativity. Yeah, I always find I feel worse, and so I just, I know it's always hard. My grandmother, no joke, like legit Italian grandma, Portuguese, like the works, is like when you like hate someone, you get you get a cold, like it like manifests itself in your body. So you better watch it, Mike, because maybe if you keep busting on Trump, I mean, I am neither side at this point. I have not made a decision as to who I'm supporting, but if you continue to bash either side, you might get a cold, as my grandma would say. So you watch yourself.
Thank you. Excellent advice. And break a leg at the show.
Thank you so much. This has been a blast. Thanks for having me.
Woohoo! Let's make sure it recorded. Thank you, ERIN SUTH. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in PodCastro-Valley, a whole new world. Oh, wait, that's Aladdin. I can show you the world. Oh, tale as old as time. Truth as it could be. That would be the Beauty and the Beast. Okay, next show, it's going to be Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the Engineer. Thank you for listening. Where did my lake go?
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!